Hi, this video is about how to take notes from the electronic textbook using the class wiki. I'm going to start with section 1-1 of the textbook. Don't mind this pink border around my Canvas screen. This is so that I can see what you see, the student view of Canvas, instead of the instructor view of Canvas. I'm going to scroll down to the assignment 1-1 from the textbook, from MathXL. And section 1-1 shows me how to find the textbook in MathXL. Enter MathXL. Sign into MathXL using my login and password. Enter MathXL. Go to Homework and Tests. Section 1-1. And I'll go to question 1. In the upper right corner is question help. And underneath that is the textbook. On a Windows machine, an easy way to move the window is to use the Windows key and then the right key, because I want to move to the right part of the screen. And I'll click on the window which has MathXL Canvas. There it is. The textbook window is too small, so I'll maximize it. Oops, too big, so I'll unmaximize it. That's a good size. And the Canvas window is a little bit too small, so I'll make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And I want to go to the class wiki. Click on the class wiki link. I need to sign into the class wiki. The first time I sign in, I need to create a new Wikispaces account, but this is not my first time. The text here is awfully small, so on most browsers I can use on a Windows machine Control+ to make the text bigger. And I think that's probably a good size. And maybe make the window a little bit larger so that you guys can see the text on the electronic textbook. And the chapter objectives, if you've read through those, we can continue down to the key concepts of chapter 1-1 and start taking notes on the vocabulary definitions of 1-1. Also, in the wiki, you've probably already done the reading on the big picture. That was an assignment before 1-1 MathXL. And notice that I've made some hyperlinks for vocabulary terms that I think are important to take notes on. Data looks like an important term to know. And the first place I see data is here, but I don't see a hyperlink there yet. So I'm going to edit this page, and I want to create a new page with a new hyperlink. Create a hyperlink using the link button. Add a link to a new page which does not exist yet, and save. And on that new page, I'll take my notes about data, about the word data. Click on that new hyperlink data, and here's my new page that does not exist yet. I'll edit to create that new page, and here's my definition of data. Unfortunately, I cannot copy this page, cannot copy and paste it, so I'll have to type in my notes by hand. Data are collections of observations such as measurements, genders, or survey responses. Data are collections of measurements such as observations, such as measurements of observations such as measurements, genders, or survey responses. A single data value is called a datum, a term rarely used. Single data value is called a datum, a term rarely used. The term data is plural. The term data is plural, so we say data are. And I'll skip the rest. The term data is plural, so we say data are, blah, blah, blah. Data was bold, and datum was italic. And I'm going to use the bold button and the italic button to make those changes. And I like my definition, I like my notes, so I will save them. And there I go. Now I can go back to the home page, or I'm interested in what are the key concepts. So I'll go to statistical significance. The key concepts I have identified as the teacher. I've done this for you to help you out. And I noticed two things about the key concepts. One is that, whoops, I want to go to key concepts, sorry. Two things about the key concepts. One is that I have a link to the home page, and that looked helpful. If I go back to data, data is listed under all pages. It would be helpful to have a link back to the home page. I'll edit this page, and that line, that horizontal line, is called a horizontal rule. And I'll say go to home page. And that page is called home page, so I'll just put a link to the home page. Add that link, save. Let me test that link, and it really does take me to the home page. Now, something else about key concepts. If I edit that page, I see that list of concepts has disappeared. Instead, I have this strange rectangle. Well, strange rectangles don't seem like they belong. So let's delete that and save. And now, whoops, I've made a mistake because that list of key concepts has disappeared. However, you don't have to worry, because this clock is the revisions. It saves all of the revisions that you've made, or anyone has made. Not just that last revision that you made, but all the previous versions of the page. I'll click here, and here's the revision I just made, my mistake, but here's the previous version of the page. The previous version of the page, I want to revert to that version. Yes, I really want to revert to that version. And here I've gotten back my list of key concepts. I recommend that you as students do not change the key concepts page. I'm going to identify key concepts for you. Feel free though to take notes on definitions which are in the book. Feel free to take notes on hyperlinks such as research question, population, sample, producing data, chapter 1. Chapter 1, you'll see I've identified chapter 1. I've copied down the objectives, statistical and critical thinking, types of data, statistical and critical thinking, types of data, the objectives, take notes on those, I recommend. So in this video, I've shown you how to link to new pages, how to edit pages, and how to revert any changes that you make by mistake. One more thing I want to show you is tagging. If I look under chapter 1, here's chapter 1 in the margin on the right-hand side. Chapter 1 lists the chapter 1 page, which is here, and it also lists statistical significance, which is defined in chapter 1. But we just created the page data, and data also belongs in chapter 1 because that was a definition from chapter 1. To make data appear in this list from chapter 1, let's close the key concepts, I can tag the page. So to tag the page, I'm going to click on tags under the ... menu. I'm going to edit the tags, and I'm going to type in chapter, there it is, chapter 1. Save. And now, under chapter 1, we have data. If you tag any information, any notes that you take on chapter 1, if you tag them with chapter 1, they will appear under this list chapter 1. That will help organize the notes that you take. So linking to a new page, editing a page, reverting any mistakes that you've made by using this clock, and tagging pages by using the ... menu. Those are some of the basic operations that you'll be using when you take notes.